wet yourself. The scariest water slides ever. Summer's almost here, and that means pretty soon you'll have to make up your mind. Do you want it in the face or in the rump? Because those are the only two ways to go down a water slide. What did you think I meant? Trivialist presents Wet Yourself, the scariest water slides ever! Our first water slide looks terrifyingly dangerous because it is. It's the Verruckt water slide at the Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City, Kansas. But don't get excited yet. It's been torn down following a ghastly accident in 2016. When the Verruckt opened in 2014, its record-breaking height commanded headlines worldwide. Riders were strapped into a raft on top of an 168-foot platform, then dumped overboard like they were raising money for ALS. Riders reached 70 miles per hour at the bottom of the first ramp before zooming over the second one. If you think that sounds scary, you don't know the half of it. In 2016, the 10-year-old son of a local politician was decapitated when his safety straps broke. The boy's head hit the safety net, and it came off. The Verruckt has since been demolished. Our second scary water slide hasn't seen a fatality yet. It's the Scorpion's Tail at Noah's Ark Water Park in Wisconsin. This slide's gimmick is a complete 360-degree loop that riders won't realize they're enjoying. It all starts 10 stories up on a platform with no bathroom. Then riders are loaded into a plastic capsule, and from there, the teenage ride attendant is in charge. Like a gerbil looking for Richard Gere's tonsils, the floor drops out and the rider is forced down a tube. The near vertical 10-story drop is supposed to give you enough oomph to make it through the loop. But if you fail, there is an emergency hatch you can use before the bottom of the tube fills with water, that is. Our third scariest water slide is actually two water slides. Lucky you! They've got cute names too, Twister and Speedy. Located in the Sonnenthal-de-Lusammenberg Thermal Spa in Austria. Yes, Austria's famously hot and tropical alpine environment makes it the ideal location for a water park. To enjoy the rides, you just line up with the other moist Europeans and wait for the green light. Then step into the blackness and begin a 400-foot descent into that Austrian black pudding. The number 4 scary slide on our list is the only one located in outer space. It's the Extreme Phaser at Galaxy Erding. Water is a really scarce commodity in space, you know? This just seems irresponsible. Well, anyway, as for the slide, Extreme Phaser isn't the most complex tube on our list. The rider gets into a deep, dark hole, experiences confusion, and then gets pooped into a public pool at the bottom. The most interesting part is actually the transparent bit of tube, where others get to look at your butt on the way down. Wunderbar! Our fifth water slide was once the tallest in the world. But unlike the Verruckt, there's no safety net to cut your head off. This is Insano at Beach Park in Brazil. Insano is 130 feet tall and was built in 1989. Basically, riders are rewarded for their strenuous uphill climb by being shoved off a 14-story building. During the free fall, the rider can hit speeds of 65 miles an hour. Now, Brazil isn't exactly known for amazing construction quality, but I have to believe that after 30 years of punishment by pumped-up Brazilian buns, Insano can take just as much as it dishes out. If number 5 wasn't Insano enough for ya, try our number 6. It's Brazil's Kilimanjaro. No, not the Mount Kilimanjaro, although it is built into a mountain, so maybe they're cousins. Kilimanjaro dethroned Insano as the world's highest water slide at 164 feet. Then Kilimanjaro was dethroned by Verruckt, which was 4 feet higher. But then Verruckt returned the crown after getting blood on it, and Kilimanjaro is the highest water slide on Earth again. But Kilimanjaro was always the better slide, you know. Even though Verruckt was 4 feet higher, you had to sit on a dumb inflatable raft with other people. And Verruckt also had that dumb not safety net, while Kilimanjaro lets you go raw dog. If you want to try it out for yourself, then just samba down to Brazil, where Kilimanjaro is still scaring the pee out of people daily. Up to this point, every water slide we've covered has promised to rocket you downward as fast as possible, then crash you butt first into a pool of recycled water. Well, I imagine that water ain't too pretty after a day of flowing from butt to butt. Leave it to China to come up with a solution. This is the 8-person Headfirst water slide at Chimelong Water Park in Guangzhou. Now you won't have to clench your cloaca while trying to enjoy water sports. At Chimelong, you get it straight in the face. For an added element of competition, you and 7 friends can race each other side by side. The last one to get a frothy splash to the face is a rotten egg. These days, nearly all water slides are designed on computers by qualified engineers. Not so at the water parks of yore. Behold the Cannonball Loop at New Jersey's Action Park. This is another fun-looking coaster that you won't get the opportunity to try. After operating for exactly 1 summer, it was closed down forever. The Cannonball Loop achieved the same effect as the Scorpion's tail, but without all the fuss over safety. Riders who matched the Cannonball's strict height and weight requirements were rewarded with a simple 20-foot drop into total darkness. If the accumulated rocks and sand at the bottom of the loop didn't stop you, then you made it over the loop and were dumped out onto a moist rubber mat. Amazingly, of the 6 people who died at Action Park, none of them were in the Cannonball Loop. Well, that's all the scary water slides there are. But don't worry, I'm sure some unqualified engineer will make a new aquatic death tube very soon. Until then, stay on the shallow end. Bye-bye!